And another cause we know is, one time what happened, there was this Sahabi with the name of Jabir ibn Abdullah. It was a young Sahabi, and one time he fainted, or he became unconscious, and so Prophet Muhammad ﷺ visited him with Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, and he made wudu, and he put his wudu water on him, on Jabir ibn Abdullah, and because of which we know that the water coming out of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ's body, that's a blessing, it's a barakah, right? So because of that he got cured and he woke up. So he asked a question to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. He asked, "What do you command me to do with my money?" Now he basically figured that if I die, my money should not be like go to waste, or I don't want people to take over my money. I want it to be done, some use has to be done to it. So he asked this question, what should I do with my money? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because of that question, revealed a verse, basically the inheritance verses from many surahs, but Surah An-Nisa, this particular verse, يُوصِيكُمُ اللَّهُ فِي أَوْلَادِكُمْ لِلذَّكَرِ مِثْلُ حَظِّ الْأُنْثَيَيْنِ, and it continues so on, basically telling that and Allah instructs you concerning your children for a male, or what is equal to the share of two females. So a man gets one portion, and the female get half of it. So 1:2 ratio basically, and so on. If there is no son, what should happen? How much should the parents get? How much should the wives get? All those percentages, inshallah, sometime later we will go into detail. But it was the question posed by this Sahabi, because of which it was revealed. And one time what happened, another incident, we know the Sahabi Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas. So he was very good to his mother, very loving to his mother, but his mother was not a Muslimah. She didn't accept Islam, but he became a Muslim. So his mother got very upset with him, and she resorted to the hunger strike. And she said, "I'm not going to eat, I'm not going to drink anything until you change your religion, and even if I have to die, I will not give up eating or drinking." So what happened? 2 days passed and her situation became very worse, and he really started to get troubled, Sa'd ibn Waqqas radiallahu anhu. But he was very steadfast. He, when he came to her, she was saying, people will be, you will be put to shame, because you will probably kill me because of the situation. So Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, he said, "Oh my mother, even if you had 100 souls, and if they were to depart one by one, I will still not give up my religion." So he loved his mother so dearly, but still, he was so steadfast that his mother saw that steadfastness. So she basically gave up her strike, hunger strike. So she started to eat. So, but when Prophet Muhammad ﷺ heard of this, because of this incident, a verse was revealed. It's a very beautiful verse, one of my favorites. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِن جَاهَدَاكَ عَلَىٰ أَن تُشْرِكَ بِي مَا لَيْسَ لَكَ بِهِ عِلْمٌ فَلَا تُطِعْهُمَا وَصَاحِبُكُمْ فِي الدُّنْيَا مَعْرُوفًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is basically telling here, but if they, meaning your parents, endeavor to make you associate with me that which you have no knowledge, that is shirk, do not obey them, but accompany them in this world with appropriate kindness, and follow the easy way, follow the way of those who turn back to me. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told it clearly that be very good to your parents, but if they are telling you to do shirk, then do not accompany them, just leave them. But what is very interesting about this verse is that they tell you to do the worst sin possible, right? The shirk, the worst sin possible, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that even if they tell you to do the worst thing, how should you respond? Reply them with appropriate kindness. He didn't just say just leave them alone, or just be quiet. No, be extra kind to them. Be kind. So if that is the status of them when they are telling you to do the biggest sin, just imagine if they are Muslims, how should we be behaving with our parents? So that's really amazing. Show appropriate kindness. And we'll just take few more. This is very famous one. Then our mother, Salama radiallahu anha, she noticed that whenever this verses was revealed, it always addresses men. Oh, men who believe, do this, do that. So one time she asked Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ya Rasulullah, why are these verses always for men? Why are women not referenced? Usually, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says men, it basically means it's a universal gender, it refers men and women. But she was very particular. She was like, why are not women referenced? Then after that comment of hers, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started revealing verses addressing both men and women. So one example of that is in this one, Surah Al-Ahzab 35. Innal muslimina wal muslimat wal mu'minina wal mu'minat wal qanitina wal qanitat, until the end there. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions 10 characteristics: those who are obedient, truthful, patient, those who fast, men and women, men and women, men and women. So whenever this she used to recite this verse, she would definitely feel proud. It was because of me that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala included both men and women. And another verse I want to talk about is when the uncle of Prophet Muhammad was on his deathbed. You know how the mushrikun were trying to take him to their side, and Prophet Muhammad urging him to accept Islam. That was going on, but he ended up not accepting Islam. And when he passed away, Abu Talib, Prophet Muhammad he made a comment. He said, you know what? I will continue to ask forgiveness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for my uncle, Abu Talib, until he prohibits me. I'll just keep on asking forgiveness. But the verse came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prohibiting him from asking forgiveness. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed in Surah Tawbah, ما كان للنبي والذين آمنوا أن يستغفروا للمشركين ولو كانوا أولي قربى من بعد ما تبين لهم أنهم أصحاب الجحيم. It is not for the Prophet and those who have believed to ask forgiveness for the polytheists, even if they are your relatives, after it has become clear to them that they are companions of hellfire. And this is the verse that I was talking about, the Safa and Marwa. So this is the one wherein what happens was that during those times, actually let me tell you the translation of the verse and you tell me if you understand this verse or not. In Arabic it is Inna as-Safa wal Marwa min ash-sha'airillah. Indeed, as-Safa and al-Marwa are among the symbols of Allah. So whoever makes Hajj to the house or performs Umrah, there is no blame upon him for walking between them. So why is Allah saying that there is no blame? If you want to, you know that's Sa'i, right? Safa and Marwa, there are 2 mountains and you walk between them 7 times. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying there is no blame for you to walk between these 2 mountains. Why is He saying there is no blame? Is it something wrong to do? Is it like is a sin to do that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is now making it that okay, it's no blame for you, it's okay to do? There was a reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told that. Actually, during the times of Jahiliyyah, the mushrikun, they used to wear their ihram and they used to make that tawaf for the sake of their idol, Manat or whoever it was. And they had this superstition, this belief that they used to be like very scared to do tawaf between Safa and Marwa. They considered it a bad thing. So they used to be scared. But when they accepted Islam, they asked this thing to Prophet Muhammad that can we do sa'i now? We don't have any idols. We don't worship any idols. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed this verse that no, there is no blame upon you for walking between them. So that is the reason. So if you just grab a translation book and you read this verse, you have no idea what it's talking about. Why is it a blame in the first place? So that's the reason why translation is not sufficient, we have to refer to tafsir or the scholars. And Dhihar, also the verses of Dhihar. And what happened one time was that there was a woman with the name of Khawla bint Thalaba. And during the times of Jahiliyyah, there was this practice among the Arabs that when they wanted to divorce their wives, they would say something like, you're like my mother, or you're like my mother's back to me. So this is called Dhihar. And whenever somebody makes such a comment, in those days, they would automatically get divorced. So this person, Khawla bin Thalaba, she was a woman, and her husband, Aus ibn Samit, he said this word, Dhihar. So she was very troubled because of that, and she came to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ asking, what should I do now? He said that in anger. He didn't really mean it, but he wants to live with me and I want to live with him. So what should I do? So Prophet Muhammad ﷺ had no idea what to do, because he would obviously follow whatever the custom was in that time. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed at that particular time that starting verse of the 28th juz, Mujadila, Qad samiyallahu qawla allati tujadiluka, until the end. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that it's not a good thing that you say that, but if you said that, you're not divorced, but you have a penalty. You have to free a slave, or fast for certain days, or feed people. There are conditions. So that's because of her these verses were revealed. So that she was the sabab here. And this is interesting. Last one. This is from Surah Al-Ahzab. What happened was, Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu, he noticed that people would go to the house of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Obviously his wives would be there, and he didn't feel right that people just enter into the houses when Prophet is not there, or they are intermingling with the wives of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu talked to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that, why don't you screen your wives? Why don't you make them wear hijab? Why don't you have a partition between them? Because both good people, righteous people, and bad people might meet your wife. So it's better that they have hijab on themselves, or it's better that you screen them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed a verse because of the comment of Umar radiallahu anhu. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, it's a long verse, but he said, وَإِذَا سَأَلْتُمُوهُنَّ مَتَاعًا فَاسْأَلُوهُنَّ مِنْ وَرَاءِ حِجَابٍ ذَلِكُمْ أَطْهَرُ لِقُلُوبِكُمْ وَقُلُوبِهِنَّ. And when you ask his wives for something, the Prophet's wives, ask them from behind a partition, hijab. That is purer for your hearts and their hearts. In fact, Umar radiallahu anhu, he said that three things. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he coincided with what my view was. This was one of them, and the other one was the Maqam Ibrahim, and the third one was when he was the verse where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told that because of the jealousy of the wives, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told that he can divorce you and replace you with good ones. So basically to correct them. So that's another story, but that was one view of Umar radiallahu anhu that was accepted. So these are the three things. So he would definitely feel very honored whenever he recited these verses. And we'll take 5 more minutes inshallah and enter this new topic, another topic.